I'm Kimberly Turner from cookingwithkimberly.com, and I have my mom on the show today, Ingrid Turner.
Hi.
And we're baking. We're baking up a storm. We're making a beautiful, fresh peach pie. Doesn't that sound great?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to serve it with vanilla ice cream. What could be better, right?
Awesome.
So we have these gorgeous Ontario peaches, and you can check out my review on those Ontario peaches at Harvest Bar and Country Markets. They have gorgeous produce. These are beautiful, fresh peaches. They're so soft and ripe and ready to go. But first of all, we need to get the skins off. So we have a pot of boiling water behind us on the stovetop, and we're just going to dip them in there for about 15 or 20 seconds each. We're going to fish them out, and then we're going to shock them in some cold water with ice. That's going to allow the skins to release from the flesh, and we'll be able to easily just peel them off. So let's get started.
No problem.
Okay, so we just used, you can use between 8 and 9 peaches, 10 if you have smaller ones, but that's what we're using today, and we're going to see how much we have after we chop them all up. Okay, Mom is just using a slotted spoon to fish them out, and then we're going to shock them in our sink with cold water. Now, if you don't have a slotted spoon, you need one in your kitchen. Make sure you check out our store at shop.cookingwithkimberly.com and grab yourself one.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a big one like that.
No. Into the cold water. Okay, so just that quickly, here they are, and the skins are already coming off nicely. So just grab your peaches, grab a little paring knife, and peel away.
Slides right
Oh
off.
yeah, they are. They're just sliding right off. Right.
Beautiful. And these are freestone, so when you open them up, they just come apart like that.
I don't even need a paring knife. I'm just using my fingers.
I know. And now I'm slicing them straight into this measuring cup.
Into chunks.
Yeah, in chunks. Yeah, not too small because I like the peaches to actually be in one piece when we eat them.
Yes, I like chunks of peaches instead of it just being a peachy mush.
Right.
So rinse and repeat on all your peaches.
Because the peaches are so nice and ripe, they're quite juicy. So we're going to have to thicken them up so that we don't just have a pie full of juice.
Yes. These I don't even need a knife, honestly.
No, I know. That easy.
Here, I'm peeling for you, and then you can chop. If you can get 2 people to work on it, it goes much quicker, and you can get an assembly line going.
Right.
In fact, it's better to use your fingers because you're not taking any of the flesh from the peach.
Beautiful. Look at that. That is a real picture.
It doesn't have any skin on it. Look how pretty. I should show it to them.
It's gorgeous.
Now this has no skin on it. That's just what it looks like underneath. Just like a
So
fresh peach does
pretty.
with the skin on. These are gorgeous, gorgeous.
And because they're freestone,
peaches.
they just come right away from the pit.
So you're just cutting around the circumference of it and then twisting it apart somewhat like you would do an avocado and then popping that pit out. And then everything goes much smoother.
Yep.
What a difference 30 seconds in some hot water makes.
We had some that weren't quite as ripe last time.
Yes.
But, you know, you get these beautiful peaches from Harvest Bar. Wow.
Yep. In fact, we got a basket from somewhere else that said Freestone, and they were not Freestone
What
peaches.
a nightmare.
They did not come apart from that pit very easily at all.
Oh.
But that's okay. They're all still delicious. There you go, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, this is going to be good.
Okay.
So we have about 7 cups, it looks like. 7 cups of the fresh peaches, like this, sliced up. Okay?
Yes, and we're using a 10-inch deep pie plate, so that's why we need quite a few peaches to make that worthwhile.
Okay.
Okay.
So to this is 1.5 cups of sugar.
1 1/4 cups
1
of sugar.
cups
And
of
I've
sugar.
mixed that a little bit with some brown sugar I had sitting on the counter because
Nice.
I wanted to get rid of it.
Nice.
And a tablespoon of verjus.
Verjus. Now, verjus is the unripened Pinot Noir juice. So it's the juice of the unripened Pinot Noir grape. And it's used in place of lemon juice. So you could have used lemon juice here, but we used verjus just because it's a local product and it's within our 100-mile diet.
All right. 2 tablespoons of tapioca.
Now that's the small minute tapioca, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
And 2 tablespoons of cornstarch.
Okay.
And 2 tablespoons of flour. And I'm just going to put half the flour in because I'm not sure if I'm going to need all of that. So give it a good stir through. You can do that for me.
Sure.
Just stir it through for me.
Sure.
And then we're going to let it sit and macerate while we make the pie crust.
Are you going to add
And
any?
that will give it a chance for the tapioca to soften up too. I could add cinnamon to it, but you know, I love peaches, and that's what I want, is peach flavor.
I do too, and you know what? It's summer still, and I
Yeah.
think that cinnamon's such a fall
Yeah,
thing.
that's like to me a Thanksgiving thing.
Maybe in another couple weeks we might want cinnamon with our peaches, but
Yeah.
right now I just want it like that, all nice
Exactly.
and fresh as possible.
Exactly.
Oh boy,
You
capture
know,
summer.
I see how juicy that is. I think we're going to put the rest of the flour in
Okay, so all the flour is how much
there.
altogether?
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons altogether.
Yes.
It's going to make a nice, somewhat creamy-ish. It's going to thicken it up nicely with the tapioca and
Yeah.
that cornstarch as well as the flour. You're tripling up on the thickeners,
Yeah.
and that's cool because peaches are especially juicy, especially when you heat them. Boy.
I think I got a peach in there that didn't get sliced.
Oh well, it's all good. I wouldn't be upset.
There we go. Give that a good soak through. Yes, that'll soften the tapioca up nicely so it can actually thicken the pie.
Okay, so that's going to sit and macerate for at least 10 minutes while we prepare the pie crust.
Nice.
So
All
we're
right.
using Mom's classic pie crust recipe. If you want to refer back to it at some point, we have a separate video just for how to make Mom's pie crust. So you can go refer back to that instead of trying to find it in here as well. All right?
And I'm actually making like a triple, almost a quadruple batch.
Okay, well, that's what we always do because next time you want to make pie, you won't have to do this. You'll already have 1 or 2 pieces in the freezer ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's why we do that. So today is, it's like a double, triple recipe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get the pie crust prepared and we're going to roll it out on some wax paper today.
We need 2 pieces, one for top, one for bottom. There we go.
Okay, we're gonna get our egg mixture prepared before we start mixing everything, just for ease of use. So we're going to add to 1 egg that's already, scrambled up a little bit. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Now, you can use white vinegar, but today we're using a beautiful Chardonnay peach vinegar from Napa Valley Vinegar Company on this. And we have some really great recipes using this. It's awesome. So it's going to impart just a little bit of peach flavor into the crust as well. In here is peach puree. So it's going to be really lovely. 1 tablespoon of it.
Awesome.
Nice.
And so to the egg and the vinegar, we're going to add enough liquid to come up to 3/4 of a cup.
Okay.
And here I'm going to put 5 cups of flour into this mixing bowl.
There's your egg mixture.
Thank you. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. You can mix that up a little bit. You want to mix that up? Just
Sure.
to break down that sugar.
Sure.
Okay.
Wait. Okay, go ahead.
And to that, we're going to add 2 cups of Crisco.
Or shortening, any kind of
Shortening, yeah. You can
Or
use-
lard,
or
you could
tender
use.
flake, whatever you want to use.
Couldn't you also use butter in this instance?
I wouldn't use all butter because I'm not sure of the proportions, but I think you could easily go half butter and half shortening. I've never actually gone ahead and made a pie crust with butter. I know a lot of people do that, but I haven't done that.
1 teaspoon of salt.
And now it's time to cut the shortening into the flour. And we're going to do this until the dough resembles
Peas.
small peas or coarse oatmeal.
Now, if you don't have a pastry blender, it is well worth the small investment. Make sure you check out our store at shop.cookingwithkimberly.com for all these important tools that really will make your life easier.
I think you could use a food processor, but I never feel comfortable with that because I'm always afraid it'll go too far and then I'll have leather for a pie crust.
Now, you can use a fork, but you can see how much longer that would possibly take.
Yeah,
You
or
can-
2 knives.
You can use your fingers, except for the fact that you heat up the shortening too much. You want to keep that shortening, you know, a cooler temperature, because you want to maintain those little small size peas. You don't want to just mix it into a hockey puck.
No.
You want it to be light and fluffy with pieces of the Crisco covered by the flour. That's exactly what you want. So you want to keep things cool.
So then the shortening will kind of puff up every place that there's a little ball of Crisco.
And that's how you get flaky crust.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. You just want to make sure that everything's kind of, you know, combined. You don't want just a whole bunch of flour, just
Sitting at the
miscellaneous
bottom.
flour. Yeah. You want to make sure that it's pretty combined. Make sure you get those corners of the bowl, because boy, they can hide there.
Good. Okay. So now,
Let me show them the consistency here. Now you can see that they're crumbles. They're about little tiny pea-sized crumbles, all like that. But everything's combined. The flour is been soaked up by some of that shortening, and all is well. Also, I might want to add, when you're adding the water, you want to make sure that that water is cold water.
yes.
Very cold.
Okay, so now I'm going to make a well in the middle using my favorite kitchen tool. I have a giant sized fork.
One.
I get one.
We have one of them.
I don't know how I inherited that,
I
but
don't know.
nonetheless.
It works well for all
Yeah.
kinds of things.
So in goes the water. And I know I poured it all in at once, but if you're not too sure of yourself, you might want to go half and half, just in case you're worried about getting too much water. But I'm pretty confident that I might even need more water.
So you're just using the fork and just mixing it just barely through.
Mm-hmm. Just
You
so
didn't-
all the flour is just got a little bit of moisture on it.
You do not want to overmix your pie crust, or any pastry for that matter. Don't
That's right.
overmix it.
But I think I need about a tablespoon of
Okay.
water there.
Does that work?
Mm-hmm.
So we're putting wax paper down. You can use a pastry sheet or just use the surface of your counter. Make sure it's nice and clean. And you need a little bit of bench flour. Dump it out onto your surface. That was the hard part, wasn't it?
Mixing?
Yep. That was the hardest part.
Well,
People are find it to be a daunting task. They're scared of making
yeah,
pastry.
so now you've got this big clump. But we're gonna fix that up. I'm gonna make this into a nice ball. And I think I'm gonna get my hands cold because they're pretty warm.
Need some saran wrap? Okay, so Mom is just compressing it together into a ball, not like really compacting it, just bringing it together so it all holds nicely. And then she's gonna cut it in half. You want a knife?
Sharp one.
Cut it in half so that you can have 2 pie crusts.
Well, actually, I'm hoping for 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think this will be for 1 pie. 2 crusts will come out of that one. And this one we're going to put in the freezer.
So the ones you're putting in the freezer, you're gonna wrap them in plastic wrap. Well. Okay, so Mom's just portioning it off.
I'm going to cover it up and I'm going to press it down a little bit.
You wanna
Yeah.
make it into somewhat of a disc.
There.
So there you have it. You have a nice pastry crust, a pie crust, or for tarts in the freezer, ready to go. Now these are all gonna go into another resealable plastic bag just to keep them nice and protected. Okay, 2 little discs.
Ready for the freezer for next time.
Beautiful. That makes life easy.
So the bottom crust is going to take up more dough than the top. So I'm going to cut this into about a third.
So we're doing a bottom and a top crust tonight. That's
Actually,
pretty cool.
I'm going to do a lattice.
Nice.
Yes.
Mom rarely
We
does
haven't
lattice.
done a
I'm
lattice
excited.
for some time. So
Cool.
that's what I'm planning on doing. I think we need to put this in the fridge for at least 5 minutes.
Okay, well let's wrap it in this wax paper.
Mm-hmm.
You want it to be nice and cool when you're rolling it out because it's a problem otherwise. It's just going to go, and you don't want that. You want it to maintain its integrity. I'm just going to wrap it in this wax paper so that we can cool it off maybe, I don't know, 5-10 minutes in the fridge. Tonight we're making a beef beet borscht. Make sure you check out that recipe, because that's what we're about to handle while this is cooling in the fridge.
All right, so I just removed the dough from the freezer, from the fridge, and it's in pretty good shape here. So what I'm going to do is put some bench flour down.
I used all your bench flour in my borscht.
Put a little on top. And I think I'll put a little bit of saran wrap on top.
So Mom just put it, basically it's between the work surface and some saran wrap, and she's using bench flour to make sure everything doesn't stick together. She wants to be nice and careful with it because she has a nice delicate pastry crust, and that's the whole point, to get a beautiful, crunchy, flaky crust.
Yeah, I have to turn it over at least one time.
Be as gentle as possible, just keeping it just barely together. Putting it in the fridge or the freezer really helps hold it all together, so you don't have to be really rough. Sorry, so you're not too rough on it. Well, that's a beautiful job. Look at that, nice and clean too. So you want to roll it out so that it will cover the bottom, up the sides, and over top of the sides a little bit.
Yeah. So since this is a 10-inch pie plate, I want to go at least 12 inches in diameter with the crust.
I love it when Mom bakes. What a treat. It's my favorite thing to come home after school and see some amazingly delicious baked good that Mom slaved over in the afternoon.
I used to bake almost every day.
Boy, something, buns or sweets or anything.
Dad was a real sweet lover.
Me too. All kids like sweets. Don't get it twisted. Even big ones. Now, we don't need to grease up your pie plate or anything like that because this pie crust has lots of shortening, so it doesn't need it. So ever so gently,
can you move this on?
Yep. Ever so gently, you're going to roll it onto your rolling pin. That's the easiest way to transfer it without breaking it. And you're going to roll it on top of your baking dish. Now, Mom is just ever so gently using the back of her knuckles, pushing it into the corners of the baking dish. Okay, so Mom has it into the pie shell, and she's just used the back of her knuckles to gently push it into the corners. Now, you can see how it's overlapping, and you want that. You want to leave a little bit of that because you're actually going to make a nice fluted edge. Is that right?
Right.
So go ahead, take it away, Mom. Wait, let me show. So that's what you have. It's just hanging off the edge slightly. You have enough, okay? That's how far you want to roll that out.
I'm just going to straighten it out a little bit.
So she's just cutting just past where the glass is on the outside part. Now these little pieces can be added to your other piece of pie crust that will be used for the lattice work. So don't waste them. So Mom's just pinching it together. If you have any edges that are uneven, no problem. And if you get a hole in your crust, no problem. You can still just patch it together. It's very forgiving.
Once you get it into the pie plate, it's very forgiving.
Until that time, be gentle.
Take your time, because if you try to rush, all kind of crazy things happen.
True story.
Usually I flute the edge right now, but since I'm doing a lattice, I need to fold the lattice underneath these edges. So what I want to do is roll the lattice pieces out. And the reason for that is I don't want to put peach stuff into the pie crust any sooner than I have to. Because as soon as I possibly can, I want to get it into the oven.
So here's the second piece.
We're going to heat the oven right now to 425.
Okay. We weren't kidding. This is from scratch. Real scratch.
Okay.
Okay, this is the slightly smaller piece, don't forget. And add those little extra scraps to this disc. So this is what we have. Mom just sprinkled a little bit of flour on the bottom. It's going to help thicken things a little bit more. So you want to roll this out to as long as the 10 inches, right? So that actually just a little bit more than 10 inches, probably 11, so you have an extra ½ inch on each side to tuck under that crust. Right. So you're going to make beautiful strips. And Mom has a beautiful tool that we also use for ravioli. And you don't have to use this, you can cut it if you want. But this just makes a nice scallop effect. You can see these little rollers. Pastry rollers, I guess. What is this, a pastry cutter? Would you call this?
Yeah, it's actually a pizza cutter.
Pizza. This is?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Well, there you go. Well, for heaven's sakes. Make sure you have enough bench flour because that's your saving grace. Okay, so Mom's gonna get the strips ready and prepared. I am going to finish off this peach filling. Now, it's been macerating actually longer than 10 minutes. It's been a little bit longer than that, and that's no problem. But you see the tapioca is nice and softened, and it's kind of creamy in here. So there you go, okay? I'm gonna add just a couple drops of real vanilla extract and stir it through. I would say that's about half a teaspoon, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. Okay, so Mom is doing maybe 1.5 inch wide lattice work. And I'm gonna show it to you on this work surface before she removes them so you can see what's going on here. So Mom just took that cutter and cut them into straight lines. So Mom's just using a tool. You can use a spatula. This is kind of a spatula, or I don't know what it's called. But you're just gonna go underneath and remove them, placing them on a floured work surface. Just in preparation for getting your lattice work ready. You're gonna get that peach filling in quickly, and then you're gonna work as quickly as you can to get the lattice work done.
That's right. So I'm going to put the peaches into the pie crust now.
So our oven is preheated. That's one battle of one.
Mm-hmm.
Mom is using a slotted spoon. She's not sure if she wants to add all this liquid that's come out, but she's adding the main fleshy parts of the peaches. So lattice work is just a crisscross pattern. So I'm going to cut some chunks of butter that are about 1/2 inch cubes, and you're going to want to use cold butter for this. And Mom wants to put these in between each of the holes there, in the holes between the lattice work. Okay, so what Mom has done is she's placed the lattice work in one direction all the way across. And then what you're doing is you're kind of weaving in between, up and down through each one, like wicker, right? Like a wicker pattern almost. So you're gonna fold every other one backwards, lay the next lattice work the opposite direction, and then fold it over. And then you're gonna change it, the other two, or the other ones, every other one, back, and let the next lattice work going the other direction go through. I hope that makes sense to y'all. But you're just trying to get a crisscross pattern and weave it through. So that's about, I don't know, 1.5 dozen little cubes of butter. So don't worry if it goes over the edges, that's fine, because you're just gonna cut them and tuck them rest under. If they happen to break, just pinch them back together.
Yeah.
All's well.
The thing is that I could have made the dough tougher, and that would have been easier to work with, but I don't like doing that.
Or you could cool it down a little bit longer even.
Yeah.
But yo, it's all the same.
So we're going to cut the edges. Where's my knife? I'm putting a little piece of butter in each hole here. Just give it a little gloss later.
Okay, so Mom went around the edges and cut the edges, any excess off, and you're just pinching everything together with the other crust from the underneath part. Making a nice scalloped or fluted edge.
We need to put a cookie sheet in the oven underneath this pie because it probably will boil over a little.
Now be smart and use your silicone mat so that you can easily clean off your cookie sheet after.
So there, it's going in the oven.
I'm going to show it to them. Now look how beautiful that is. Now it's ready to go in. It's got the nice lattice work, as you can see, and the dots of butter. And Mom has fluted the edges.
And one thing, I want to sprinkle a little bit of sugar on the pastry.
Nice. So Mom's just sprinkling sugar on the pastry, not in the holes. It's unnecessary. This is gonna give it a nice crispy texture. Obviously it's gonna be sweet and it's gonna caramelize up. All right, so our oven is on convection at 425 degrees. And how long are we baking this for?
We're gonna leave it at 425 for 10 minutes, and then we're gonna go to 350 for 35 minutes.
Okay, so we'll see you in 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's been about 12 minutes. Mom decided we needed a couple more minutes at 425, and now we've turned it down to 350 degrees. And
It's
this,
just starting to turn brownish.
that's what you want. Beautiful. So now we have a timer set for 35 minutes on 350 degrees, and you're just gonna check it. You're gonna make sure it's done, and you'll see Mom explaining everything in 35 minutes. Okay, it's been 40 minutes. Mom wanted an extra 5 minutes, and now she's gonna check the bottom. I'm gonna help her check the bottom to make sure it's done. Oh, it looks awesome. Mommy?
Yeah, it's cooked all the way down.
Is it?
Yeah, it's nice and brown.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, it's good.
Nice. Look at this pie. It is a work of art. Would you just close the oven for me?
Yeah.
Look at this pie. I know you wished you were coming over for dinner tonight. Boy, oh boy. We're having that beef borscht and peach pie for dessert with vanilla ice cream. Ooh-wee, that looks delicious. Now, don't slice into it right now.
Oh,
You have
no.
to, you have to let this cool off for like probably a good hour at
Oh,
least.
At least.
You want it to kind of solidify up. Now the cornstarch, the flour, and the tapioca are going to help congeal that. But right now it's like molten lava.
Yeah.
You will be so upset it's going to all fall apart and it's going to burn the mess out of your mouth
Yeah.
and melt all your ice cream.
Yeah. No, it has to sit at least an hour before you touch that.
Yes.
Don't be anxious because it's not worth it, all that work and then having
No, it's
all
not.
get crumbly.
But that's a beautiful,
It is
beautiful
lovely.
pie. So you're gonna see us later taste testing this after dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yeah?
Yes.
All right, that's how you do it. We'll see you in a little while. All right, we've finished dinner and it's been probably an hour and a half maybe. And you know what? It's still nice and warm, but it's gonna be perfect to easily cut.
Yes, but the filling has set. You can see that.
Definitely.
So that's what really matters.
Okay. It is such a nice looking pie.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Boy, even the first piece came out okay. Boy, that's a beautiful piece. Look at that. I'm gonna scoop some ice cream. Because you have to have ice cream with it.
That's one beautiful piece of pie.
So there you go. You want to serve it up with some beautiful ice cream, any kind of flavor you like, but I always just like the vanilla.
Me too.
Vanilla just makes me happy.
Me too.
You get some of that pastry. I know it's good. It's all crumbly.
That is delicious. And the peaches are still in slices. That's so nice.
And somewhat firm.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see the pie has set, even though it's still warm, the pie is set, and this crust, look at this crust. It just flakes. It's so beautiful. Look at that. Oh, and it's so melts in your mouth. Mommy.
It's good. I want a little piece of that ice cream.
Oh yeah. I'm glad we didn't put cinnamon.
This is delicious. Now we put that peach vinegar in the pie crust. And we didn't add any spices to the actual pie filling because we just wanted the pure taste of the peaches. I know a lot of people put cloves and nutmeg and allspice and all kinds of stuff in there, but I just love the pure taste. Pie crust is good.
The peaches are amazing too.
Yeah, I like that. They're nice pieces. Nice big slices. We did a good job.
Perfect end to the perfect meal.
Gosh,
Boy, that's good, Mommy.
love these slices.
We captured summer in a pie.
So good.
And the little bit of sugar on the lattice work, it's nice and crunchy.
Well, I really didn't put an overly excessive amount of sugar into the filling because I still like to get that little bit of a tang, and I think the verjus really brought that out.
I agree. It's fabulous. I had thought I put a little too much vanilla in, but you know what? It's just right. Mmm. That's so good. Mmm.
It's delicious. We finished the whole thing.
We gotta go because I'm ready for another piece. Mmm. That's a fantastic pie, Mom. Thank you.
Welcome. Thanks for your help.
Boy. Man, you guys want to bake this. This is an easy pie to bake. You guys can do it too. Don't worry about it. If you're afraid of doing the lattice work, don't put any topping on if you don't want to. Or you can put just a whole flat top on the top. Just poke some holes in it and you're good to go.
And in fact, if you really don't want to deal with pie crust hardly at all, you could put you could cook that filling and put it on the bottom without a bottom crust, and just
kind of like a cobbler,
sort of like that, and then just put the top crust on,
like a peach pot pie.
Yeah, but I love the bottom crust.
Oh,
I love the crust.
I never used to be much of a pastry lover. I'd usually leave my crust. Isn't that terrible? And now, boy, I'm down with your crust.
Well, not everybody makes a good pie crust. You know, I've had some pie crusts that, you know, man, they're a challenge to eat.
Me too.
And don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
That's fat. We just demolished this plate. We need another piece. Anyhow, check out Mom's website at ingridturnertoday.com. Follow me on Twitter at Cooking with Kim E with a capital E. Like the fan page at facebook.com/cookingwithkimberly. My shows are on ifood.tv/cookingwithkimberly and youtube.com/cookingwithkimberly. And make sure you keep an eye out on Roku TV for me. My website is cookingwithkimberly.com. Come and interact, subscribe, do all those good things. Check out all our recipes, okay? That's how you bake a peach pie. That's how you do it. All right? Be a champion in your kitchen and eat deliciously. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Boy, that's good.